welcome to a new live stream. Alright, so let's see what a Friday is gonna be today. Hello everyone, hello Prophet Pulse, Felix, Fabiano, how you doing? Nice to see all of you guys. So we're gonna see what do we have today. It's a very interesting day. We have a lot of news, right, coming in 15 minutes, which is a perfect time for the stream to see also before we close the stream to see what is the reaction of the market again. So we have a lot of news today, very interesting. So we have to be careful, right? So let's see what do we have. Basically, everything working as clear as crystal clear, right? As we expected, exactly with our analysis. We are in the wave 4. We expected a very sharp, fast zigzag. That because of the wave 2, we would like to see alternation. This is exactly what's going on. A, B, and a C. Probably the news is gonna add more fuel to it to make it faster because we need to finish in this time. I mean, it's not a rule, but it's a guideline. Nicer if we finish exactly at this time, but don't forget that after the news, if we get this far very fast, don't forget we might continue toward the upside for a wave 5 directly. That would be the scenario for today, and it's gonna be an interesting one, right? So very interesting. We are in the wave 4 right now. In the yellow, we're looking for the wave 5. We would like to see, of course, the minimum target 0.23 hit taken from the wave 2 to the wave 3 here. And then, of course, jumping directly back for a wave 5 in an impulse, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And I believe that the news will add some fire to the price action, and then, of course, bringing it exactly where we want, and then start the move toward the upside. Yep, so basically nothing really special. In case, okay, before I move to the SPX, I would say in case we are bearish, so we have to be careful in case the news that it was like very damage for the chart or something like this. We have to be careful. If we dive deep, well, it has a lot of gaps, guys. It has a lot of gaps for this scenario. I don't know if this will happen. It has a lot of gaps for this wave to move toward the downside. However, it is already clear from there that it is hard to say that we are going to be in a very big impulse. Why? Because if you are in a 1-2, this is a very, very shallow wave 2. Okay? We did not reach the 0.38, which is minimum requirement, and that means, of course, the possibilities is higher for, of course, a wave B rather than a wave 2. Wave B meaning zigzag, wave 2 meaning impulse, right? And this is the difference. This is one scenario. In case that we move down, it's going to be an extended wave C, just to let you know, okay? So, because already given the signal that there is no 1-2 here. Plus, another scenario, what if we move higher? If we move higher, therefore you have to consider that potentially that this correction is finished because the timing is already there, and we might move simply toward the upside, wave 4 finished. Okay, so those are all the case scenarios. First scenario, that it moves in zigzag, perfect zigzag 1-to-1 fib level, hitting perfectly in between the 0.38, 0.23, moving toward the upside. Second scenario, very massive wave C, it's gonna rebound and move toward the upside. Why? Because it cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not a wave 2. Scenario 3, bullish, moving directly towards the upside, finished already as a corrective internally here. Is this what is creating right now? Might be, of course, the wave C, and then moving towards the upside, guys. Very simple. And finishing wave 4 already, well, preferably, of course, in this scenario, by the way, preferably to take the 0.23 at least. So I believe that the news is gonna bring it. Yeah, so at least. And then moving toward the upside. Cool. Now we can move to the SPX. That was for the NASDAQ. For the SPX, let's add also the timing. We don't want to forget the timing. So we started at 10 minutes for NASDAQ, and the SPX right now we are at 15. Okay. All right, so for the SPX, SPX is always like a turtle, right? And always behind. So basically, we were looking for this wave 5. Now, potentially that we have finished the wave 5 here, potentially is still correcting and moving one more wave 5. However, looking at the time for the wave 2, the wave 4 should be finished, guys. Should be finished. And I believe that there's still some preparation for a move toward the downside. Okay. Yeah. So these are the potential scenario for SPX. I think SPX still need to move after follow Nasdaq. You know, it's always behind, one step behind, and it might of course continue the move for lower and then moving toward the upside. We're still bullish now. Preferably, of course, even yeah, I prefer to see this wave 5, by the way, taking the high, and that's why I'm not really yet convinced that we are moving toward the downside. Maybe this is your wave 4, but the wave 5 might be extended, guys, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then moving down. But I don't know how it's gonna react now with the news. Yeah, so if we move bearish directly, well, we have to consider it truncated a little bit. It can be truncation and then moving for wave 4 and then continuation again toward the upside. Okay, but truncation is not nice to have. Okay, this is what I would like to see. Yep. In case we move very bearish, don't forget the invalidation can be given if we are very bearish on the SPX. If it moves very down, this is your invalidation 5,000 because you're in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. If this wave 5 not finished, that means of course it is a part of the wave 4. Wave 4 is not allowed to take this price. Okay. Hi Elliott Wave community, welcome, bro. No worries, no worries. No worries, bro. You can replay the stream at any time. Yeah, so these are the things. If we move down on the news right now and we hit the 5,700, therefore invalidation, something else is unfolding to be reanalyzed. If we move a little bit and move higher, okay, that's perfect. If we move higher directly, that would be much more perfect because we need still to take the high here, okay? Yeah, we're gonna see this, how it's gonna unfold. But basically, if those news will be positive and bullish, well, it will be great in all case scenarios, guys. If bearish, we have to be careful from invalidations. This is what I have to warn about it, of course, the invalidation levels. All right, let's see the gold, what is doing today. The gold, let's move for it. Yep. So let's see. XAU, USD. Here we go. All right, for the gold. Very interesting. The gold yesterday, it has jumped toward the upside, of course, after breaking all our key levels and so on. And we said, of course, if we take the invalidation here, that is invalidation of a bullish scenario, and also it has invalidated the bearish scenario. Crazy, right? So kind of like is very sideways right now, but it doesn't mean that we cannot move for higher. That means when you invalidate the bullish and the bearish in the top, that means, of course, first, you're not impulsive bearish. Second, you're not impulsive bullish. This is what does it mean. But it doesn't mean that the price cannot, for example, move for higher correctively. Okay? Meaning we finished 3 waves or W here. You're looking at an X and you're seeking after a wave Y. And I believe this wave Y has to unfold, of course, as kind of like 3 structure zigzag. We would like to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a good signal, by the way. It has started to unfold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave A. Very fast wave B. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Perfection would be this blue box. 1.23, 1.38 for a wave B in an expanding flat. Meaning 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and moving toward the downside. Now, basically, we can start to have some confluence, by the way, for a zigzag taken from the A to the B. You see the 1-to-1 fib level. Okay, that's not really nice, but Yeah, we need to see an extended wave, right? We need to see an extended wave. So it give us exactly 100% the the top 3,500 again. Okay, therefore this is highlighting at the 1.05, guys. Okay, meaning A, B, and a C. Of course, it might overshoot a little bit to take the 1.05 and boom, getting the wave C down. Okay. So this is what it might happen. I cannot take this as a leading diagonal also if you think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. First wave 3 is very longer than wave 1. Second wave 4 is not interfering with the zone 1. And if you are in 1, 2 and the wave 3 towards the upside, that is a perfect scenario. Wave 4 has interfered with the zone 1, invalidation of the impulse. And that means it's a W, right? Three ways, or yeah, zigzag as W. You got, of course, the X, and right now we're looking after a zigzag, A, B, and a C. Preferably, yeah, to hit at least the 1.05. At least, guys. So yeah, I see the gold still moving toward the upside, and currently because NASDAQ is moving for a correction in wave 4 and still of course looking for some red, so potentially that the gold is gonna push, of course, higher, since the gold always works opposite to NASDAQ, right? So we're gonna see how this is gonna affect. But basically on the lower time frame, 15-minute chart, we see, yeah, it's an impulse, guys. It's an impulse, right? It's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3. 1, 2. Wave 3 finished. Wave 4, wave 5 finished. So this is 5 waves impulsive, yes. And let's label this. Let's label this so you understand much better what do we mean. So we might have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We can get targets, by the way, for this one already, because obviously the wave 2 is finished, yes. So targets for this wave 3, it might be, of course, the following wave 3 impulse, yep, between those fibs level 1.27, 1.60, 618. What is the, here we go. Okay, so basically I would like to see the wave 3 between or on this blue box. Okay, this is gonna finish a wave A. All right, 4 and 5, wave A, wave B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Okay, preferably that we reach this level. Okay, over 3,500. Why? Because we are exactly at the 3,500. This will bring us like 100% to the top. But I believe it's gonna overshoot a little bit, of course. 3,524, hitting the 1.05 at least, and then moving down. Okay, in a massive wave C. So be careful. All right. So we're not bullish, but we are in an uptrend correctively. Okay, we are going to take the all-time high correctively, because in Elliott wave, it is possible to get the high correctively, all right, in an expanding flat. If you are new to Elliott wave, research expanding flat. You might understand it even much more. All right, so let's move to the second or other stock today for Nvidia. Yes, Nvidia was exploding yesterday. Very nice. And by the way, guys, you highlighted to me on the pre-market and so on. And because I have geniuses in the Discord, Illusion Trades. I don't know if he's there. He mentioned to me how to get into the pre-market here on using, of course, the trading view. And I felt too old with trading Illusions Trade. He's a genius with internet and so technical stuff. Also with Discord as well, things and so on. He always highlights to me the things. So if you go here to the regular trading hours and the extended trading hours, you can see exactly the chart behind the scenes, right? Which are, of course, the extended trading hours. And this is where yesterday we were like stuck. What is going on with this drop towards the downside? And you told me, okay, but the pre-market will open there. And I told, okay, then it's finished, right? Wave 2, and it was right. It was 100% finished wave 2 and moving toward the upside. And this is exactly what happened. So basically, we have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 towards the upside here for Nvidia. And that might have finished an impulse as a wave 3, guys. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay. So that might be, of course, the wave 3 finished as big wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay. So if we go to the back to the counting here, here we go. So if we go to here, we can see our count is perfectly in the blue box. We have passed the 1.27, very nice, for a wave 3, of course, and we are looking right now for the wave 5, of course, for the yellow scenario. So I would say right now, if we are looking for this wave 5, which is taken from this wave 1, which is a leading diagonal, now the wave 5 would be short a little bit, guys. So I believe it's gonna be short now. Yes, of course the target is gonna be very high, but it's not possible. Why? Because we got an extended wave 1. The wave 3 is shorter than wave 1. Wave 4, wave 5 is mandatory to be finished like this, guys. Okay? You're not allowed to have a wave 5 longer than wave 3. It's not an impulse, therefore. And that's why it has to be done and finished over there. Okay? What does it mean right now? I think that, of course, that the wave 5 in the yellow has finished. And we finished with it, of course, a wave 3 in the white. And we are looking after, of course, a wave 4 in the white brackets right now. This one, okay? The minimum target for this one, okay, let me clean up. Let me remove this. No need anymore. No need. All right. What it might happen, the targets, of course, is between 0.23, 0.38. Yes, we might come back to this area for Nvidia, probably, unless something unfinished. We're gonna dive deeper, but this is the possible scenario next. 0.23, 0.38, 130, 122. Timing, time-wise for this scenario, by the way, I'm gonna mention also the possibility of the shape. Timing-wise would be, of course, here, okay? So between perfection would be June 4, okay? Perfection. In June 4, yeah, that means, of course. But the problem is, right now, that we have a deep wave 2, very deep one, and sharp, which is a zigzag. As per alternation, you would like to see a flat or sideways triangle. Normally, Nvidia is a little bit far from sideways triangle, so I believe much more in flats. And I think that it's gonna be an A, B, and a C, kind of like a flat like this. So that is not a zigzag. It's gonna be kind of like a flat, taking the 1.05 from here, okay? And then moving to the upside again. Okay, moving towards the upside towards a wave 5 to finish a big impulse as a wave 1, taking the all-time high preferably. Okay, so let's add this signal here as this is the all-time high, I think. Here we go. All right, so this is our all-time high. Let me just all-time high. Yeah, preferably that simply we take the all-time high with the next wave 5. And it's going to be extended wave 5. Why? Pretty sure, almost. Because your wave 1 in this scenario is very long. 70% that the wave 5 gets the same length, same timing, and same aggressivity as the wave 1 in an impulse. Meaning, it might simply explode, guys, to 170 potentially. Yeah. We're gonna see this. We're gonna see that. But yeah, very interesting for Nvidia. And now, the scenario for moving higher before moving to a wave 4 here. What are the possibility? And I think I deleted by mistake the counting because I'm clumsy. Brackets right. Here we go. All right. All right. So what are the scenarios to move directly for higher? So if we move a little bit lower here, yeah, we can see kind of like this structure is starting to be impulsive. Why? You see here 1, 2, 3. You see a very long wave 3. What you look after it is very corrective, right? And that means, of course, as corrective and sideways, very characteristic of a wave 4, and then moving toward the downside for a wave 5. Now, this has two scenarios, whether it has finished wave 3 after a big wave 1, 2, or we are in an A, B, and a C finished. However, based, of course, on the bigger view that we just saw it, that a wave 4 might be, of course, hitting, yeah, high possibility that we might be impulsive, guys. Creation of impulse, correction, impulse, 3 waves for the wave A, 3 waves for the wave B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave C to hit perfectly as a regular flat in the wave 4. Okay, so we have to be careful. All right, so that is for Nvidia. Free Minds, hello man, how you doing? A little late today, no worries. Everyone can be late today. Hello, Illusion Trades. Here we go. Our genius. Welcome, man. So I was just mentioning. I don't know if you was here. I was just mentioning that you told us about this beautiful secret here. I would never see this, but yeah, it's very very interesting and important. Thank you, man. So yeah, let's move for the next one. Palantir. Yeah, let's see Palantir what is doing today. 32 minutes. Okay, so Palantir. Yesterday, someone mentioned in the comment that I'm not doing any more Amazon, Google, and the other stuff, and he's right. Unfortunately, I would love to do it, but guys, I barely get time right now. You know, I have other channel also with the crypto, plus trading, plus the stock market crypto, and updating on X as well, and so on. So the time is very, very, very tight. And we have a Discord, of course, as well, and so on. So, you know, you can imagine it's a whole day. But I'm trying my best, guys. Maybe I'm gonna try to add each live stream one other stock. Like one time we make Amazon, the next stream we make Google, and so on. Yeah, so in that way, and I'm gonna try to make videos as well. I'm gonna try my best, guys. All right, so we are in Palantir. As we mentioned yesterday in Palantir, whatever is gonna happen in this area here, inside this block area, okay, whatever is gonna happen, we're moving toward the upside. Whether we are corrective, W, I don't know, X and a Y, or whether we are in kind of like an impulse, impulse. It can be an impulse. One, but I doubt it so much that this is a wave 2. This is a problem. Wave 2 has to hit the 0.38. So far, we're moving so much sideways. So much. It's too much. And it looks like something totally has no relation with the wave 2. Okay, why? Because anyway, if this is a correction finished here, even if we dive a little bit deeper, it will not reach the 0.38. This is the first thing. Second thing is that when you pay in time, as per Elliott wave, when you pay in time sideways, a very rare case scenario that it drops like this, guys. Very, very rare case scenario. Unless some news affected or something, it might move towards the upside. You're very welcome, Prophet Paul. Thank you, bro. You are also the best people here, always. Thank you, man. So basically, what I'm looking at, guys, I can say 5 ways finished, yes, and it might be an A, B, and a C. Now, why? I'm not sure why it is corrective, guys. And it might be, of course, 3 ways down and creation of 3 ways up, the same as the gold scenario here, if you remember, the gold expanding flat and then moving down. The problem also with the expanding flat here is that if you have an expanding flat wave B, this cannot be overshooting. So wave B as an expanding flat, here we go, cannot overshoot so much. And that means your targets when we move up would be between those. And that means the wave C might be a small impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it might be kind of like ending diagonal. But I believe because it is very sideways, it's gonna move impulsive. Because when you have a lot of sideways like this, the price explodes, okay? But it might explode very fast and very impulsive, tricking everyone that you're moving in something very big and dropping down. So be careful with it. Unless bullish scenario is double 1, 2, but how can we call this another 1, 2? Well, this is possible. This is possible, but it's gonna transform to triple 1, 2. Why it is possible? Because now, if you take this 1, 2 as an impulse here, in this case, you took the 0.38. However, why still very far possibility? Because of the timing. If you compare the time of a wave 1 here, let's say, and this is your wave 2, this is incredible big and far. Therefore, again, the possibilities goes one more time for a wave A, B, and a C. And it might be a very short wave C. Unless, again, another scenario can be, of course, zigzag, W, X, and the wave Y is unfolding right. That would be perfect, by the way. Let's start with the label, guys. I'm gonna remove here the impulse, no need actually, because clear it is 5 waves. So first we have W, X, and a Y in a zigzag, okay? Meaning the wave Y, one more leg. That is this is a perfect. This is my highest probability right now, guys. This is 3 waves up, by the way. 3 waves down. That's awesome. That's working perfectly with the scenario. Another scenario can be, of course, an ABC. A, B, and a C, low possibility. Okay? Yeah. All of this just because of what is going on here. It's true, we're gonna take the high, but it's not impulsive anymore. This is not impulsive. All right, that was for Palantir. Higher possibility going to W, X, and a Y. The wave Y is another zigzag. You got zigzag, correction, zigzag. Cool. All right, next, Tesla. Let's see Tesla at 38. All right. Okay, Tesla. Okay. What we are looking at today? Okay, yeah, set up for wave 3 still unfolding. We are in 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're looking for wave 4. Is this wave 4 updated? No, we got a new high. Here we go. All right. Yeah, on lower time frame, we are in 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perfect for a wave 3. Problem, wave 2 did not reach the 0.38, meaning low possibility for an impulse to continue for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3, 4, and a 5, but it is a possibility, but lower. Higher possibility, you are in W, X, and you are looking at a wave Y. The wave Y might be unfolding as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, and that means here you are looking at A, B, and a C. We're gonna put it in a blue small one. So here we go. A, B, and C. Don't forget this scenario. Meaning we're still looking for higher. Same as an impulse, by the way. If you are an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're gonna reach this area. But the structures is telling that you are moving up, but correctively. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in a wave C. And of course, what does it mean? Is that you're moving toward the downside after it. If you are impulsive, you will move a little bit and then moving up. But the wave C or the wave Y here is gonna move toward the downside after it. And what does it mean? It means that you might be, of course, in a bigger sideways correction first before saying bearish. The biggest sideways correction here is the following. You have a potential sideways triangle, right? After an ABC zigzag. I'm gonna take, yeah, it's good. You can see all the charts. So A, B, and a C. The wave C finished at 1-to-1 fib level, meaning after this you got kind of like three-wave structure, ABC expanding flat. And of course, after this, we have three waves toward the upside, and of course, we might have three waves down. And that's why if we finish in WX and a Y, this might transform to a zigzag toward the downside, finishing potentially here at WX and a Y, and then moving toward the upside. This is a possible scenario, by the way, to finish correction and moving higher. Or you continue to correct sideways in triangle and then moving higher after a wave E. So A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. Bullish scenario, which is low probability, which you would like to have an impulse, correction, continuation toward the upside. You would like to have, of course, kind of like a zigzag. Why? To finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending diagonal in an A, B, and a C. Okay. So we're gonna see what does it mean. That is for Tesla, higher probability to move for higher on the lower time frame, but on a bigger time frame, we might shift back toward the downside. So be careful. Okay, that was it for today. Any questions are very welcome, or some special request also is very welcome. Tosa, I don't understand. What do you mean? All right. Okay, guys. So I think that was it for today. Let's go to trading. I wish you to have a nice day. And I wish you, of course, to have a, successful trading day. All right. Okay, guys. So see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.